How do you rate a company? How do you rate a particular? So that is why I would always say a credit rating is an opinion here. This company has been into the history of watchmaking for many years now. Each and every component will have an external factor acting on them and how they have been performing. Good morning and welcome to the session 5 in Unit 5 under Company Law, where we are going to talk about a very interesting topic called as the credit rating. Now, how do you rate a company? How do you rate a particular organization and say it is the best? Let's have a look into it. A credit rating is an opinion on relative degree of risk associated with the timely payment of interest and principal on debt instrument. Quite a very simple, but yet it has a lot of meaning inside. Most of the companies today in the world are loaded with debt. That's because they would have borrowed this money for their expansion, for their growth, and for their diversification. But ultimately, what happens for most of the companies is that at the end of the day, somewhere they miss out on the payment, somewhere they find that they are not able to get that exact mileage, and it leads into problem. Now, there are many credit rating agencies in this world, starting from the ICRA, CRISIL. Let me just write it down for you, the ICRA, the Indian Credit Rating Agency altogether. And we talk about the CRISIL, the Credit Rating Indian Agency altogether. We can talk about the S&P rating, the Standard and Poor altogether, the Moody's rating. All these kind of people are involved in terms of rating the organization. How do they rate the organization? They look into the factors of how the company has performed, how the company has made the payments, how the company has taken care of the debt, how the company has been able to go forward in terms of the business operation. So every company has got a rating that is being given by these rating agencies, which will determine the credit worthiness of the organization. Now, when you talk about companies like Reliance or Tata or HDFC or Godrej, or you're going to talk about Asian Paints, or you're going to talk about Titan, whichever company that you are talking about, they have a credit rating behind them. They have a value behind them which is being given because of their performance, their consistency in the market. So that is what restores confidence in the minds of the customers and tells them whether you can go for this company or you should not go for it. So that is why I would always say a credit rating is an opinion here. Now, that's not a final. Why? Because many a times the opinion might not be accepted by other customers. They might feel that this opinion is not for me. I still believe the company is good in spite of the debt, in spite of so many other factors. So now what is happening is that it is an opinion that has been pointed out. It is not a truth altogether. There might be times when the company might be overrated or the company might be underrated also. So taking the opinion is left to the investors. But all these credit rating agencies will make it a point that they give a very clear and concise picture about the organization, taking into account all the debts, all the financial operations, and their business leverages altogether. Moving forward, the meaning of the credit rating altogether: assess the credit worthiness of the business, the company. Today, when you talk about Titan, for example, this company has been into the history of watchmaking for many years now. The aim of Titan was very simple, that when they got into the business of manufacturing watches, under whichever category they do it, they wanted to bring in a very simple and a sturdy performing watch for the consumers who are delighted with the product. So what happens here is that the name of Titan got into the minds of the customer as a leading watchmaking company because of the quality of the product. People might not remember the name or logo so easily. But what happens is that when certain organizations prove their credibility, prove their ability, as the quality oriented company and they keep repeating it, they make this as a habit, automatically those brands become imbibed into the minds of the customer. That is how certain companies do not remain just as brands or logo, but they become permanently attached to the minds. They are completely recallable at the top of the mind. So that is how Titan became such a big company altogether. Now, their financial history and their diversification into jewelry, into accessories, or into other fashion items altogether was also in a very, very systematic way. They were able to launch themselves in the market and create a very, very credible IPO, which was rated several high, and then their financial history and the current assets are also in a very good position. So when you happen to look into a company like this, where their assets and liabilities are definitely under control, they have been performing extremely well, then automatically what happens is that the company will definitely get a very good credit rating. That is how Titan was being preferred as one of the most best performing stocks by the leading share broking houses and by the agencies. So whenever Titan is going to be rated, whenever Titan is going to be given an buy call, an investor relationship altogether, Titan has got a higher rating. People like that company for all purposes. Followed by determined by the credit rating agencies, tells the lender or investor the probability of subject of being able to pay back a loan, pay back the credit factors altogether. Now, for example, let's imagine that Titan comes out with one more IPO, say for 1,000 crores or for 2,000 crores, saying that they want to start up a new plant and they want to increase their manufacturing capacity. With no doubts, people will give that money. People will again invest in Titan because they know the creditworthy of the company. They have seen Titan as a performing agent altogether. They have believed upon this factor that at any given point of time, Titan is not just a company, but Titan is a super performer. Titan is a company which has been able to adjust, understand, and go forward in terms of business. So that is why I would always say that the credit rating agency will look into the consistency of how they are able to repay back, how they are able to grow with the system, and how they are able to perform under the given conditions. So that's what makes a company a super performer altogether. Moving forward, the nature of credit rating. How do I go forward and rate a company? What is my system? What is my philosophy in terms of rating a company? Let's have a look into it. Rating is based on information, no doubt about it. Many factors affect that rating. The quality of management, the corporate strategy, the international environment, the rating by more than one agency, publication of the ratings, and the rating of the rating agencies itself. Now, the example which I was trying to relate to you in terms of rating starts with the basic ideology, information of the company. If you happen to go into the website of Titan and just click on About Us, similarly for any other company, you will be able to get a detailed information about the company, which is trying to say that what they have done, how they have performed, what is the nature of operation, their business entities, and so many other factors, followed by the factors that are involved in terms of the external, internal environment, their performance level, how they have been guided, and what are all their projections altogether. Now, for example, when we were talking about Titan, when we divide Titan into different halves, like Titan only in terms of watches, in terms of when I'm talking about Tanishq, which is a part of their system in jewelry, then Fast Track, then their accessories, and so many other factors. Each and every component will have an external factor acting on them and how they have been performing. So the credit rating agency will keep a track of every single company's movement, find out what are all the factors that are working in favor of them, how they have been performing, and then they will give a rating. Followed by the types of credit rating. First, let us start with the sovereign credit rating, sovereign entity, where I'm taking it as a single entity, risk level of investing environment used by the investor to invest abroad, political risk into the account. So for example, if you are an MNC where you have a base in the foreign countries, the investor will first try to understand what is the risk level that is existing in the company, under what conditions the company is acting and performing in terms of the governance standard. What is all the political environment, in what kind of zone is the company located? The company might be good. The company might have a great future. The company might have got a brilliant move in terms of business. But then when it comes to the types of the rating, we have to check and we have to understand whether it is an appropriate time to invest in that company, whether it is good enough for us by taking the risk in terms of investing it. So sovereign rating will look into all these factors, starting from the political, the risk level, and as an entity. So once they are able to perform on all the standards, they will be able to give the rating agents. Now, the short-term factor, the probability factor comes here. Probability is always about chances that we need to understand. So when I say this probability, it's about the chances, whether it's a 50-50, a 60-40, what kind of chances are we talking about? The contrast to the long-term rating, because we are now going on a short-term basis. We want to understand within a given period of time, say about 3 months or 6 months, how is the stock going to perform? This is a very, very commonly used methodology in the market. Why? Because if you are a short-term investor, you want to make quick money in the market. You want to understand how to take the money out of the particular system, particular stock altogether. You will go into a short-term rating. You will understand the probabilities, the trade-off methods, and then you would start investing into that stock. So this method is a highly important method that is being used in terms of rating, in terms of finding out the value of the company. Followed by the corporate credit rating, financial indicators that tell about the corporate rating, the investors, the debt, how they have been able to do, how they are able to repay back the loans, what are all the factors under which they have been acting. All those things are very, very important when we are talking about the corporate deposit, how they have been able to maintain the deposit, their return rate, their interest rate, is there any defaults that has happened, what has been the history. All those factors are looked into in terms of corporate credit rating. Followed by the benefits of credit rating. What are the important benefits? The first thing, minimization of risk. The risk factor is definitely coming down because the credit rating agencies have already taken it into account and are letting you know what are all the challenges of investing into it. Risk recognition. I do understand what is the risk involved in the company. If I'm going to invest in BHEL, if I'm going to invest in HAL versus investing in Indigo Airlines, I know what is the risk that we are talking about. Credibility of the issuer. Who is issuing this data? Who is giving you that instruction? Why are those instructions important? What does it mean to you in terms of the value that is being given by the credibility of the issuer? Followed by in the decision making. People today are confused with the factor. In the case of an IPO, should I go for it? Is that the best company to invest? If I put my money today, will I be able to get back the 20 or 30% return? Now that decision making can be made if you are following the credit rating agencies. Followed by independent decision making. I don't want to rely on anybody. I want to rely on self. I want to make myself knowledgeable about the situation, about the company. I have to follow the credit ratings, understand their terminology. So that's why I say independent decision making is a very, very important factor here. Wider choice. You have hundreds and thousands of companies which have been rated, which have been understood cleverly so that you can make a choice of your investment, saving time and resources. You don't have to waste time again doing analysis. You don't have to waste time in terms of understanding it. But then you will be able to understand what are all the choices, what are all the factors there. The benefits of intensive surveillance. So when you go on a continuous surveillance mode, when you go on a continuous methodology altogether, there are a lot of benefits. There are a lot of understanding that comes into picture. Exploits the market condition. It understands what is the market condition and what level we are talking about. What is the current scenario that is going inside? So that will exploit the market condition, that will tell you exactly how we are facing the challenges in the markets. The benefits to the company is that it becomes easy to sell. It's a lower cost of borrowing. Tomorrow people will believe it can easily get the money. Wider market, it helps you to build a strong image. Lower cost of public issue, so you don't have to spend huge money trying to convince the people, trying to pay the underwriters. You will get an easy amount from the public. It facilitates growth and it's beneficial to both small, unknown and the greater companies. So that what happens now is that using the credit agencies at a low cost, you will be able to secure a stronger position in the market. Now, the benefits to the financial intermediaries, which I would like to talk about, is that it accelerates your business growth altogether. So brokers, agents and portfolio managers, all of them will get the benefit in terms of understanding the market. They will be able to push your business forward, saying that you have been doing a great job in terms of the credit rating altogether. Now, with that, I come to the end of this particular session. And with this, we will try to conclude in terms of the growth of the company law, the stages and the activities of credit rating altogether. I hope and believe that this session was highly interesting, useful and resourceful for you. With this, I come to the conclusion of this particular chapter and the different factors of company law. Until then, stay tuned, stay blessed and stay enlightened forever. Thank you once again for joining me on this wonderful session today.